One of the three biggest RAM manufacturers is stopping sales to regular consumers because they want to focus on selling to AI companies. It's Micron, and they're officially shutting down retail by the end of February 2026 because their capacity and attention are shifting to higher-margin data center products. Okay, in case someone missed it, RAM is basically now tradable for a PS5. Obviously, you can't trade any stick for a PS5, but prices on literally all RAM have gone up. I noticed this because I have some stuff listed for sale, like this RAM here, a new 16GB DDR4 3200 kit from G-Skill, and suddenly a bunch of people started messaging me about it. It's been sitting there for like a year. I'd totally forgotten about it. So it's immediately clear something's off. I go online and see all these memes. And today, the news finally reaches me that one of the three biggest manufacturers is now stopping selling it, and there are literally only three of them. Just so you understand, here's how revenue is split between them. The three of them together generate more than 90% of the entire market. Okay, but why did it start getting more expensive even before this news? And how did it happen that data centers for artificial intelligence are involved in this again, needing more and more capacity? It started going up even before this announcement for one simple reason. There aren't enough memory chips, and the same fabs that make RAM are now prioritizing memory for AI data centers, where they get paid way more than in the consumer PC market. Because yes, data centers need RAM too. Quick context so everyone's on the same page. All memory in a PC is divided into two types: slow and fast. Slow memory is SSDs, for example, or hard drives, which are large in capacity and focused on storing data. Fast memory is RAM. That's what actually works with the data. Data is loaded from the hard drive into RAM. Only the data that's needed right now. And this happens a ton of times instantly while you're launching stuff on your computer, and the CPU processes it all. You can write data to it and read from it, and it does this like 100 times faster than if you only had slow memory, an SSD. That's what RAM is for. And now to understand why data centers need RAM, just scale this up in your head, because instead of one processor, there are hundreds or thousands of GPUs, and each of them is so fast that without fast memory, it would spend most of its time just waiting for data. So, the day before yesterday, Micron, one of the three elephants holding up the RAM world, published this statement saying, "AI data center growth has sharply increased demand for memory and storage. Micron has made the difficult decision to exit the consumer crucial business to improve supply and support for our larger, more strategic customers in faster-growing segments." Thanks to a passionate community of consumers, the Crucial brand has become synonymous with technology leadership, quality, and reliability in cutting-edge memory and storage products. We would like to thank the millions of our customers, hundreds of partners, and all Micron team members who have supported Crucial's growth over the past 29 years. That's the letter. Crucial is, by the way, that very Micron brand. Micron is a huge company. Crucial was the one selling RAM to consumers. They wrote it briefly and to the point, just how I like it. Guys, they pay more over there. We're going to build for them. And don't you dare tell me you wouldn't do the same. And how this is some evil, bad corporation. I get that for people who now want to buy RAM, they are the bad guys. They were serving 26% of the consumer market. A player that big is leaving. But don't try to feed me this nonsense that if you were in charge, you'd act differently. Because for fiscal 2025 ended on August 28, 2025, Micron generated $28.5 billion in revenue from memory, of which $20.7 billion came from data centers. And I'm sure that number is growing. Even by their own data at the time, data centers were over 70% of profits. The money isn't in gamers right now, it's in big enterprise deals. I'm not mad personally because this doesn't affect me, and that's nice. But for those it does affect, my condolences. And I get why you're angry, because if you compare RAM prices in 2024 and today, you can see that all RAM has gone up by 2 or even 3 times in just 1 year.